the Electoral Commission, as well as the army operatives, I call them operatives, have come out to say that you should not, under any circumstances, stay at the polling station once you have cast your vote. You should go home. However, we are skeptical about this because it's not really backed up by law. The directives that are being issued are not backed up by law. And on the other hand, we are also concerned about the increasing involvement of the UPDF in the electoral process. As we all know, the UPDF has been given a mandate under Article 209. And it's very clear. The role of the UPDF is to preserve and defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Uganda, and more particularly, to foster harmony and understanding between the defense forces and civilians. Now, as you recall, Kenneth and Honorable Minister, we have also had a number of cases of people disappearing, people being abducted. The most recent one is that of Reverend Sekabira, I think of Masaka Diocese. But also, if you recall, we had earlier on also a case of one lawyer, prominent lawyer, one Kayingo from South Africa, who on arrival at the airport in Entebbe was abducted and for 1 month could not be found. Lawyers went to court. They filed for writ of habeas corpus, and again the judge in that case issued writ of habeas corpus ordering security agencies to produce him, and interestingly they denied having him in their custody only a month after for him to be deported to South Africa. And of course, we have had cases where we have talked to him and he expresses serious concern about the way he was treated and also the fact that he was abducted. So we have also taken exception to this behavior. Why are we having these cases? And in all these situations, it's actually the military who have been involved in the abduction. So cases of the military getting involved in the electoral process are raising serious concern among the population, but also to all those peace lovers. So these are the recent developments, and we hope that they can be contained. I'm glad that President Museveni has come out clearly to say we shall have a peaceful election, and that is our clarion call, that we should have a peaceful election. There's no reason whatsoever to confront supporters. Of course, there have been also concerns that members of the population or some of the supporters of NUP have confronted the security agencies. But again, that sometimes arises out of, the fact that they have all equally been mistreated. As we all know, action and reaction are equal and opposite. And that, again, raises serious issues. And sometimes when disproportionate force is used, it also raises concerns. So these are some of the developments, and our hope is that there will be more clarity on the conduct of the different players in the electoral process, and that the candidates should be given, all the candidates should be given the leeway, and that the security forces should actually do their job. Their role is to maintain law and order, but under no circumstances should we expect them to harass, intimidate, threaten the population, because the essence of an election is to provide an opportunity, an environment for people to choose their leaders. And if people are going to choose their leaders, they must choose them from an informed point of view and under all circumstances in a peaceful and calm environment.
All right. You read Banyana.
Yes.
The Honorable Kabyanga has chosen to classify me here, saying that I have a side, but anyway, let's hear your thoughts.
I think Honorable Minister sounds rather convincing. However, I need to put a few things in perspective. First of all, I agree with him that in principle security agencies cooperate. And I think we need to take note of that. And the Constitution did make mention of that all the security agencies, whether it's UPDF, police, prisons, intelligence, they have a duty to cooperate. But the framers of the Constitution were very clear. They apportioned the role of maintaining law and order to the police. And in regard to UPDF, their role was to defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity. However, they also made mention of the necessity to cooperate in emergency situations, which therefore means that their role comes into play when there is a situation which definitely requires them. For example, if there is a riot, if the state is on fire, country is on fire, they can be called upon. And that is agreeable and it's understandable worldwide.
But Honorable Kabyanga's argument is that we are in a situation where we can face terrorism and all these kind of things.
I can see his extended line of, call that an extended line of thought.
Shortages in police number.
No.
And also, who interprets the word emergency?
You know, when we were doing law school, there's what they call fantastic reasoning. He's trying to make you believe that you are under some form of attack or there is a fear or threat.
Constant attack.
But that threat is not actually, that threat is not real. That threat is not real because
it's perceived. It
is perceived. And the framers of the Constitution or whatever law, whether it's the UPDF Act or Police Act or whatever, they were aware that there are situations where there would be need for that cooperation. But until that situation arises, I don't think it is expedient.
Don't you think prevention is better than cure?
No, it's not about prevention. There's nothing you are preventing here. The fact is we are in campaigns. People are campaigning and there is no threat. By the way, sometimes we argue that there is threat of terrorism. But even the police has units. I saw just yesterday we were at the National Court Open Day. And I saw the police has all of these units, even
counter-terrorism.
Counter-terrorism. They also have bomb squad. They have all of these, and they have not, under any circumstance, they have not told us that they don't have the capacity to contain any situation. So we are now driven in a situation where the army every other day invites itself to the dining table, and we are now treating it as common practice or agreed practice. One of the biggest challenges we have in Africa and the elections generally is that the army has been a common actor and a common contributor to the human rights abuses that take place. In fact, some people believe that ever since the army left the military left the barracks, it has never got the appetite to go back. They are there just for purposes of accommodation, but they really want to be part of the daily life. That to the extent that when elections come, they now also want to be the major players. There is a major player in this electoral process, and it is called the Electoral Commission,
which cannot work.
It has isolation. I have not heard any statement from the Electoral Commission to the effect that one, the police has failed and therefore the army is required, or calling upon the army to come in. No. In fact, the army has enough work. We haven't yet neutralized the Al-Shabaab in Somalia. We still have issues in DRC. The other day I was following up developments between Rwanda and Burundi. The M23, they have enough on their hands. Let them neutralize that and not become major players. Now, going back to their role in elections.
And the CDF statement.
Yeah. Again, that again creates a lot of, I would imagine, confusion. One, the fact that they are not the major players. So the UPDF and the the Chief of Defense Forces, is not the main actor in the electoral process. And therefore, for him to issue a statement of that nature, I think, is overzealous. He's being overzealous because there is no necessity for him to come and make such a claim. That claim should be made by the Electoral Commission. And even when the Electoral Commission wishes to make such a claim, it should base itself on the law. So, much as I appreciate and pay due respect to directives, guidelines, I think, Honorable, here, I think you sit in Parliament. It would be prudent for you to go back and revisit the sections in the law of the Election Act, the Presidential Elections Act, and amend that particular provision. But as long as you made provision that during an election on voting day, a voter is entitled to vote, 1, under Article 59, 2, to witness the voting and also the counting, there is no reason whatsoever at this point in time to make statements that are contrary to that. And what is even absurd is the statement end with in accordance with the law, respectful of the law. Which law are you now citing? The very law you are actually breaching in your statement is the law you are mentioning. So I would urge, if it is expedient for us, in the interest of security, as you have rightly observed, then you go and amend the law and make it clear to everybody that it is an offense for anyone after casting a vote to stay behind and witness the counting, because short of that, you actually outside. And I'm amazed how a whole Attorney General, who is supposed to be a reference, a legal reference for everyone, can make such a statement, because he should have started by saying Article 664 of the Presidential Elections Act or 164 states this, but maybe we are considering amending, because it has always been the case worldwide.
Well, he says as long as you are 20 meters, you are not within a polling station, so you can.
So why then, if you are not within a polling station, then why
that's
the issue?
That's the issue. Why the question is, why then is the CDF saying people should stay away?
No. I think for the CDF and all those who are making that claim, they are cognizant of the fact that once you are within 20 meters, you are still within the polling station.
Right.
So I still think the Attorney General is also engaging in fantastic reasoning by trying to tell us that you are outside the polling station if you are 20 meters away. Then the issue does not arise. What issue then is there? If you are saying it's not useful for you to stay behind, and staying behind means within, and if you are out or outside 20 meters, you are out, then what is the issue at hand? The issue is that as long as you are within the precincts of the polling station, you are seen to be a threat, and you definitely need to be treated as such. That is why they are arguing that you should not actually be around. Actually, they should say you should not be around the polling station. If you think that way, then amend the law to say, as soon as you have cast your vote, go home and let these players be the ones to observe the counting and the declaration of results. But short of that, I still think they definitely are not speaking from a very well informed point of view.